that we have the specific authority based on the announcement made yesterday to take additional steps as it relates to financial institutions in Russia. There's additional enormous financial institutions, the two largest banks, for example, which are part of the announcement we made yesterday. There's an additional steps we've expressed an openness to, including taking steps as it relates to export controls. So these are assessments we will continue to make internally, and we have a range of tools that we are prepared to, steps we are prepared to take should further escalate.
On Monday, when President Putin made clear that he was sending troops into those two breakaway regions, the White House initially said that does not constitute an invasion because Russia already has troops there.
They do that. They don't have to adjust that a little bit, because that's what makes the...
What happened overnight? What changed to lead to that change in rhetoric?
Let me just take
I
care
talked
of
about this a
that.
little bit yesterday, but what we looked at and what we assessed were a range of steps. I'm not obviously going to get into military assessments or movements today, just like I did yesterday, but we looked at a couple of steps, including President Putin taking steps as it relates to the Duma to ask for authority to take additional military action beyond that region. We looked at his recognition. We looked at the positioning of troops and military, and we looked at the range of steps over that period of time to assess and make that decision. I would also note that our Deputy National Security Advisor was on TV conveying that morning as well.
All right, just lastly on this, the president of Russia, President Putin, said
What they do
on Monday
right.
that he felt the West was going to impose sanctions basically regardless of what they did. Given that, you're obviously trying and effectively putting a lot of pain on the Russian economy. Do you think these sanctions will actually be a deterrent?
Well, I think that is a decision for President Putin to make. I mean, there are statements he has conveyed in terms of what he wants to achieve here, right? The division of NATO, the opposite is happening, right? He wanted to see Nord Stream 2 move forward, a key prize for him. That is obviously not happening. He wants to have a flourishing economy for the Russian people. Just even without the bite of our sanctions, that is clearly not happening. So this is an assessment he's going to have to make, and we expect he'll hear from people around him who are being impacted and other people in Russia about the impact of these sanctions. Good.
Does the White House share the assessment of the Australian Prime Minister today that an attack is likely within 24 hours?
I'm not going to give an additional timeline to it. We've been saying it could happen at any time, and they are in attack position for some time now, but I'm not going to give you an additional day, hour, moment.
Just to follow up on that, you have been saying that it's imminent for some time. You guys stopped for a little bit, then you went back to it. Has there been a new warning to the Ukrainians in the last 24 hours or so? Because it seems like CNN and others are reporting that they have shared new intelligence about the threat of just how quickly an attack could happen.
We don't know what that's based on. We have been conveying in close touch with the Ukrainians. We have been conveying that they are capable of operationalizing at any time. That has been the case. I'd also note that obviously our preference would be that President Putin doesn't further invade. And as I said a few minutes ago, what we're also assessing is that he has had to adjust, adapt to the strength of the unity of the global community, to what our reaction has been, and he has been forced to need to respond and adapt his own actions. We will see. We still very much anticipate and predict that he will invade further. But again, we're also seeing an impact on how he's behaving.
And on Nord Stream 2, last month the White House opposed an
What is
effort
it,
on
child?
Capitol to put sanctions on this pipeline. Last year, of course, President Biden waived the sanctions on that, and now today he is imposing the sanctions on it, which is a pretty big shift. So can you just explain the changes and where you...
Well, we don't see it as a shift at all. We've never supported the pipeline. It was 98% built when the president took office. We've always spoken out against the pipeline. The question was, what was the most effective step in order to have the results that we have now over the last 24 hours? And there were calls by some in Congress to do preemptive sanctions on, or earlier sanctions, or take earlier steps, I should say, on Nord Stream 2. We
But how
disagreed
can
with that
you
strategy. We worked
support,
through a
I
diplomatic
mean,
path with the Germans. You saw
it has
the German
nothing to
chancellor
do
make
with
the
you
announcement
supporting
yesterday.
it or
The
not
announcement today was
supporting it.
complementary to that.
So the change is just because you're
It's
aware
his
that
fucking
Germans
pipe.
took the first step here.
Well, actually, it was that
It's
we
his
felt the
fucking
diplomatic
pipe,
approach would be the
like,
most
God.
effective approach.
But
and we
fucking
have
America,
proceeded in
sometimes they
that direction.
really,
We felt that approach was the right one.
fucking get in things that they should, you know, they're gonna get us killed. They're gonna fucking get us killed one day.
Isolated and had basically gone into
They're
a
gonna get us
psychological
killed.
security-minded drift. The president recently spent about an hour
If the guy wants to build a fucking pipeline
pretty well. I wonder if he
to
has
send
seen a
oil
change in the Russian leaders.
to
I don't
Europe,
have any
let the
personal
guy build the
observations
fucking
by President
pipeline.
Biden about President Putin to read out, but I think we all watched, including the president, the speech or read it from the other night and saw a leader who was outlining a case for war.
What is
to
that?
the
Every
public,
4 years he has to
one that
deal
was
with the
based on
same.
American history,
One
when
president
research
is
based on
okay, the other
evolutionary
president is
rules
not
of
okay. It's
to
like you
some.
get sick of that bullshit.
So you've said many times today that there is not a new assessment, but yesterday the president clearly chose his words carefully when he said the world was watching the start of an invasion, which is very different from the U.S. warning today that a full-scale Russian invasion is imminent. So are you saying that nothing has changed between when we heard from the president yesterday and today?
I'm saying that we've been saying for days that there has been, that they are prepared to launch a full-scale invasion. We saw the beginning of that yesterday. So nothing has changed in that assessment.
It's
About the
just too
figure
bright,
of
too
80%
bright.
of Russian troops are now in the forward attack position. Was that also the case yesterday?
I'm not going to be in a position to give you troop assessments or movements, but as I said just a few minutes ago, they are in an attack position. That remains the case.
And then to follow up on something I asked Philippe yesterday, he said that the administration would not give a time frame for when Americans might feel the impact of this conflict. Why not? I mean, the president has said we need to be honest
So
about the
that's,
cost of fighting for democracy. Can you share anything about a time frame, a range? Should people be saving money?
I think there's been a little confusion about this because, one, the sanctions that we announced yesterday will not have an impact on the American people. They will have an impact on the Russian elite, on financial institutions, on individuals who are trying to use those institutions to engage.
It's not going to have an effect on the
with
American
Western
people.
banks,
Yeah.
including President Putin and his inner
The
circle.
gas prices
What
are
we're
going to
seeing
stay the
in these
same. No,
markets
they
is in
won't. They're going
anticipation
to
of
go
a
up.
further invasion by President Putin, and what we're trying to do and focus on is.
We've been listening to some of the White House highlights here from the White House briefing from earlier, just moments ago there as Jim Psaki updating on the very latest there coming from the Biden administration. Obviously, a lot of moving parts today that we've already heard about. We heard from the State Department, the Pentagon, and now the White House about everything that is happening in Russia when it comes to these tensions in Ukraine. And for some updates on what it's like right now in Ukraine, we know we go right here to Fox's Lucas Tomlinson with the very latest right here, and joining us live on Live Now from Fox. Always great to have you, Lucas. So tell us, what is it like on the ground right now as we're learning more and more about this full-scale invasion could happen at any moment, is what they're saying.
That's right, Michael. Things here on the ground are as tense
I bought
as
the
they've ever
neck
been
more.
since we've been on the ground over the past 3 weeks.
Come over
U.S.
here.
officials are saying Russia has all the forces they need on the border to launch a large-scale invasion at a moment's notice. So things here are very tense, particularly back in Washington at the Pentagon, where they're seeing some 150,000 Russian soldiers. Now, U.S. intelligence sources that I've been speaking to say this could be a three-pronged attack from the east, from the separatist-controlled areas that Putin has now claimed as part of Russia, and tonight is claiming that he needs to go protect ethnic Russians, and some of those breakaway provinces are requesting Russian help. Also north from Crimea. Remember those satellite pictures that we've been looking at that have dozens of helicopter gunships in Crimea? Those helicopters could be flying north. And also east from Moldova, believe it or not. There's another separatist area there too, Transnistria. We don't talk about it a whole lot. I'm not sending everybody scrambling for a map. But that's where things could also be going. Bottom line is, officials I'm talking to are looking to the east of the major river that bisects Ukraine in two.
And Lucas, when we saw those new satellite images of the Russians making
Right here,
their
that's gonna
own
be
hospital
a little
areas,
lighter.
that was startling for many people, including the United Nations, when they were speaking about it earlier today, too.
That's right, and that field hospital I think you're referring to is only 12 miles from the border. It's pretty concerning. Why would Russia put a field hospital in the middle of the woods? For one reason, because they're expecting to take casualties. Now, Mike, the Russians aren't going to come into Ukraine on a Ural pass. They're coming on T-72, T-80 tanks, helicopter gunships, Iskander short-range ballistic missiles, Su-35 flankers. I mean, they've got, over half their whole army is on the border. It's upwards of 75% of the entire Russian army. They deployed troops over 5,000 miles away from near the Sea of Japan. Remember, Russia's 11 time zones, Mike. Some of these forces have traveled a long ways. Some of them, the southern military district is not too far, it borders Ukraine. But especially this city called Belgorod, they're seeing a lot of armor built up. We've seen on social, we've seen on TikTok. Here's the thing, though. A lot of officials I've talked to are actually scratching their heads. They thought Ukraine would go dark, that the Russians would put out some kind of electronic warfare tactics, and also on social. They think they would have blocked social media, because a lot of these Russian troops are, of course, texting their girlfriends, and they're hoping they're, not giving away state secrets. But these are all concerns that, people have in the ground. The bottom line is we are now in a launch window in the next 4 or 5 hours. Obviously, as you can see behind me, it's well after dark. And, typically that's when forces attack. The Russians, they have their own night vision goggles. They can operate at night. They can operate in the mud. And believe it or not, they have their own GPS system. They don't use our constellation, that little blue dot on your iPhone. That's not what the Russians use. They have their own. And some people think it's not totally accurate. So hopefully they know where this hotel is.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when a lot of us woke up, we saw the news there that a lot of the Ukraine government agencies were getting hacked again. What's the latest now with the hacking situation and cyber attacks in Ukraine?
It's hard to tell how serious it is. These hackers just walking on the screen, putting funny faces on the screen, or they're actually stealing. Right now, it seems like more of the former. One of the concerns here, of course, is just making the citizenry, the president of Ukraine is now calling up reservists, all able-bodied men between the ages of 18 and 60 who are asked to post and sign their names to the ledger, and they're talking about calling up over 36,000 troops. Now, some people think that's a little too late, especially if the Russians invade tonight, of course. Not much they can do. One other little interesting thing is the Second Amendment came to Ukraine today. The Ukrainian parliament passed a law that says that citizens can have carry or open carry if they so choose. So in a country where they've been telling the people, don't panic, they're now telling them, Mike, don't panic, but maybe grab a gun.
Yeah, I mean, we've really seen a different stance here from just a week ago to today. It's really, really big when you think about just how far it has come. Now, lastly, what is the thinking of the everyday people on the ground as they could be just moments away from a possible full-on invasion on their country?
That's right, Mike. A lot of these people are numb to this. Many of the people we talk to say we've been at war with the Russians for 8 years. We've lost over 14,000 people. So I'm glad the world's taking notice, they say, but we've been through this. Now, of course, this war in the East is more of a dirty war. It's fought with artillery, small arms, not short-range ballistic missiles, not fighter jets dropping guided munitions or even some unguided munitions. And there certainly aren't helicopter gunships strafing, people's homes with 30mm cannons. So, the armaments the Russians are bringing right now potentially is a hell of a lot bigger than, what people have seen in the past. But, walking around, I've said this, the other day, your colleague Daytona, you don't feel like an invasion is coming. I mean, when you see kids playing on the playground, you see the coffee shops full, the restaurants. I spoke to a few people today, and they're a little bit worried. That's why I've said there's more tense than they've been. But at the same time, I think most people are just hoping for the best, and also realizing that what can the Ukrainians do? While they have, an army, they don't have U.S. THAAD, anti-ballistic missile systems. They don't have Patriot surface-to-air missile systems. When the Russians start to, fly jets over the country, they can't shoot them down. They can't shoot down incoming ballistic missiles. And so I think the whole don't panic is frankly just the only card they have to play.
Absolutely. And, well, we're hoping that...
They're not getting any help from U.S. forces.
No, that's true. That's true. Well, thank you so much, Lucas, for your all your insight right there live on the ground there in Ukraine. We really appreciate it. Your report has been top notch. So thank you so much again for all of your insight.
You bet, Mike. Great to join you.
Yep. Stay safe out there. And we'll continue to always bring you the top stories and headlines from all over the country. Everyone, we're going to take another quick 2-minute break. Stay right here with us. More live now from Fox. back, everyone. Here to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks so much for joining us here. Well, we've been really covering Russia, Ukraine here, not only big today, but for the past week. And the one great thing about Live Now from Fox is we can bring you from news conference to news conference when they pop up and really bring you the news as it's happening in real time. And you just never know what's going to happen next or what the next feed is going to come up. But we've been monitoring right here. Looks like the end of a police chase here in Houston. You just never know what you're going to get here on Live Now from Fox. One of the cool things is that we take feeds from all over the country here. And when we get breaking news, we bring it to you live, raw, and always direct right here. It looks like the pickup truck driver is stopping here at this gas station. Not sure yet where the police are, but no, and it's back on. So, like I said, you don't know what's going to happen next. That's why we always say, hey, okay, now door's opening again. Here we go. What's he going to do now? Now he's getting up. He's out of the truck again. Now totally out of the truck. I don't know if he's going to one of these businesses here or what. We don't know where the police are at this moment. We saw them following not too long ago here, but we're just coming back from a commercial break. We appreciate you joining us here today on Live Now from Fox, giving you all the top stories and headlines from all over the country. A little bizarre situation there in Houston. And now it looks like it's back on again here. Wow. You just, like I said, it's a stop and go situation here in Houston as we continue to follow it for you right here on Live Now from Fox, everybody. We are definitely going to keep an eye on this situation as we don't know what's going to happen next here with this driver that is leading. And we don't know if the police maybe have stopped following or they're just going to follow from a distance. Don't know all of that at this moment here right now, but this driver doing some erratic things now, going off-roading. Yeah, a little strange right here, but we follow it right here. Skyfox Images right here for you on Live Now from Fox. We'll keep an eye on this. It's getting really interesting, but we'll take a quick 2-minute break. Stay right here with us. More Live Now from Fox coming up. back, everyone. Here to Live Now from Fox, continuing here to showcase this police chase that is happening right now. We don't know if the police are just maybe monitoring this because we haven't seen them follow this vehicle. We just have Sky Fox up right now, but this pickup truck is being watched here in Houston, in Texas. The shot going a little bit in and out right now, but yeah, this is live aerials happening right now in the Houston area. Kind of a bizarre one, just because before the break, we went to it and, well, he was doing a little bit of off-roading, now back onto streets here. Found some more streets, but we don't know what exactly will happen next here, or when this driver may want to just give it up and come to grips with whatever fate he or she is going to have here. But Skybox continues to follow it along right here on Live Now from Fox. We appreciate all our viewers from around the country and around the world, just showcasing, when we have breaking news and different types of feeds, we go to it right here for you as it's happening, always in real time, live, raw, and direct, right here for you, giving you these updates in real time. You can see the driver there. So, well, you know what? We'll keep an eye on it. It's not pressing here at this moment just because the police aren't following it as well. If we get any updates here regarding this, we'll bring it to you right here on Live Now from Fox, everybody. Live look right now at the White House on this Wednesday as we've been hearing from the White House briefing. We heard from the State Department, Pentagon. We played all of that out here for you. I want to play out just a little bit more of the White House briefing from earlier that we didn't get to showcase to you right here on Live Now from Fox.
To see, Peter, I'm not going to get ahead of where we are in the process. It is not happening. It's not moving forward. It hasn't been operational for some time. So that is where it stands, and this is all the result of diplomatic engagement and leadership by the president and his engagement with Chancellor Schultz.
Let me ask you about some other security issues as best you're able to detail.
Yeah.
There's some things you can't discuss. So without detailing specifics that you can't discuss, what role is the U.S. playing in securing President Zelensky's safety? And does the U.S. bear some responsibility in making sure that he is safe?
I'm not going to detail our conversations or engagements about security.
Cream on 379 for fucking smoke.
Continuing to lead the country.
Do we bear some responsibility, though, for making sure, without detailing what you're doing, do we bear some responsibility for making sure that he is
We
safe?
are going to continue to engage with him privately. I'm not going to detail or speak to it further from here.
The last quick question. Is there any circumstance, obviously, we're focusing so much on Ukraine as evidenced by these questions, is there any circumstance in which the president would hold his announcement at the Supreme Court pick after February?
No,
Declaratively, it'll happen before that. Has he made a decision yet?
I don't have any updates on
Okay.
that. Go ahead.
A few different times, but just
Yeah.
to clarify,
Creamer.
you and other officials have said that the purpose of
Looking
withholding
really got
additional
expensive,
harsher
man.
sanctions is so that they have a deterrent effect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're saying that a broader invasion is likely. So how are both of those true? If the idea is that they would have a deterrent effect.
Well, we're trying to prevent that from happening, and we are making very clear
Mind your
what-
fucking
how it's
business.
and serious what we're considering.
If you mind your
in terms of
business, you
additional
wouldn't have
sanctions
no
to take.
problem.
And are, is inflation
Put us
like
in
a
these
role
walls.
in deciding, what gets sanctioned, how you're thinking about the sanctions package?
Inflation in the United States, I assume you're referring to? Look, I think we look at a range of factors, and I'll use the energy markets as an example, because I know that was a
Creamer,
question.
$3.79 for fucking creamer. It used to be
Look at what sectors
$1.79.
we're going to sanction. One of the
You
factors we look at
motherfuckers.
is what can have the biggest impact, of course, on Russian leadership, people around President Putin, on the Russian
You really
economy.
think I care
What we're
care
trying to
about
minimize is what impact there's going to be on the United
fucking
States
what's
and
going on in
global
Ukraine?
markets in a lot of ways. And if you look at energy, the energy sector as an example, sanctioning them
Bastards.
further could also mean that President Putin and people around him get richer. So we look at a range of factors, and certainly the impact on the global economy is a factor as we consider options. Go ahead.
If Russia does launch a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, should we expect to hear from the president as we have in the last few days?
I would expect you would, yes.
He would address the nation in some televised fashion.
I would expect you would hear from the president as you have.
And then can you explain a little bit more for people who are trying to follow this continuing situation with Russia and Ukraine? Why would the U.S. not directly sanction Putin at this time?
It remains an option on the table. What I would say to people who are trying to understand why is that sanctions are designed to, we've always designed them to increase
choke the person little by
escalatory-
little.
That would be an escalatory step, as would be sanctioning the largest banks, the very largest banks, and additional components
Banks
of
in
the financial
Switzerland that
sector.
you
as
have
would,
nothing to
taking
do with.
export control steps be. So there's a range of escalatory steps we have as options. Go ahead.
You mentioned the.
These banks, I mean, why would you even allow?
Unclear in his wording yesterday, he said.
But that's how they control you. When you're going bankrupt, they give you money.
To yesterday, the reason I'm asking is, as part of this sort of first
That way, when they want you to do shit, you have to do it.
sanctioned, or would that only happen if Russia takes additional escalatory steps?
I can check if there are additional ones. I'm not tracking additional ones that we're holding for a rollout. I will note on your first part of your question that for the elite individuals, if they were to have used their bank card, I guess, to make a financial transaction, it wouldn't have been working yesterday.
There was a cyber attack on Ukrainian government websites today, and the NSC has already said that it was sort of similar to the one that we saw on Ukrainian banks earlier, and would be in keeping with what you expect from Russia. But I'm wondering if at this point you've made a definitive determination that Russia was responsible. If so, if you have any sort of retaliation or response to
Yeah,
that.
we have not attributed today's activity yet. That would be very fast, even fast for us, as fast as last week was. We do consider it, as I think some of my NSC colleagues said, to be consistent with the type of activity Russia would carry
Now
out.
they
to
made it that they can get involved
Ukraine. It's
and
consistent
take
with
your
what we
fucking
saw,
money, which
last week, where we attributed
it's not
similar
good.
incidents to the Russian
they
government.
can just say, oh, you're a
Of
terrorist,
course,
that's why we're taking your
consider
money.
these further incidents to be consistent with the type of activity
You're a
we've seen
terrorist,
Russia
we're taking
take
your money.
over the course of time. We are in conversation with Ukraine regarding the cyber-related needs, including as recently as today, and we're going to move with urgency to assess the nature and extent of this, what steps need
We
to be
could go after
taken,
Soros.
and therefore a response.
Then the president's got a meeting, a virtual meeting with the G7 tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the topic's going to be Ukraine, but
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could put anything on the bottom in terms of what the president's trying to, what his objective is in that meeting and what he's looking to accomplish.
Well, one of the steps the president has been focused on is ensuring that we are coordinated with key allies and partners around the world, and certainly the G7 is an important entity to remain very closely engaged with. The G7 is 50% of the world's economy and joined us, all of them, in this first tranche of sanctions announced yesterday. The president is a believer that this level of coordination happens by accident. It happens through a lot of work and in close engagement. We're obviously at a pivotal point in this process, and so he felt tomorrow was time to discuss with them what we're seeing, what it looks like, what's next, and engage in this format.
Go ahead. A couple questions. On this first tranche of sanctions, what's going to be announced in that first batch been announced, or will you see more today?
The first tranche has been announced, and obviously the Nord Stream 2 announcement today is an additional part of that. I can certainly check if there's anything additional coming at this point beyond for the first tranche, not that I am aware of, but I will check and make sure that's correct.
And then, when you all talk about this first tranche of sanctions, can you give us a sense of like how many tranches, if that's the right word, are in this toolbox that you have to apply? You know, how many sets of sanctions are we talking about?
I understand the question. It's hard for me to give that assessment. It really depends on what escalatory actions President Putin takes. If he goes further, we will go further. What that looks like, I can't outline for you at this point in time. I gave you the sense a little bit of what some additional options are, right? Export controls, sanctioning additional financial institutions, larger financial institutions. Those are all on the table, as are other options. But in terms of what the breakdown of tranches would look like, I can't outline that for you at this point from here.
And in terms of the cyber attack, we just were asked about, will the U.S. or could we expect the U.S. to have some sort of retaliatory behavior towards Russia in response to this?
We always reserve that option, and obviously we haven't made an attribution for this recent DDoS attack. As we go through the process of doing that, we'll certainly consider what actions could be taken as well.
One final question, actually on the JCPOA. There have been reports that the U.S., Iran,
Those are just some more highlights here from earlier, the White House briefing. Of course, a lot talk here on the Russia-Ukraine tensions, the sanctions on Russia, and so much more. We'll play it out for you a little bit later, right here on Live Now from Fox. Hi, everyone. Paige here. Thanks so much for joining us here as we bring you the top stories and headlines from all over the country. Now it's time to get into some weather. Earlier today, we were showing you out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they were getting a lot of snow. But now we're going to go live here, show you rain and maybe even ice conditions a little bit later. We're going to hear now the voice of Will Nunley with Fox Weather, who is heading to Missouri right now. Will, how you doing?
Hi, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to spare you and not be on camera for this one, so I won't crack your monitor there in the studio. But hello, everybody. We are tracking a lot of weather across the Mid-South right now. You may have seen some of that video from my colleague Hunter earlier. I've been in the area where we've had lots of rain. Middle Tennessee dealing with several different waves of rain at this point, causing flooding conditions. And now I'm in Northwest Tennessee. This is Dyer County, which you see on the screen. And I'll tell you what, if you just see it, let me let you hear it for a second. That is sleet that is just pounding the windshield here. As we make our way towards Missouri, we're going to head to Cape Girardeau, which will be our destination here because we have a lot of this sleet starting to accumulate and freezing rain. And look, we have several places in the Mid-South that are dealing with just an onslaught of different types of precip, from rain to this freezing rain, and it's causing a lot of problems. As a matter of fact, we have several rivers quickly approaching their flood stage, lots of flood advisories out throughout Middle Tennessee. I'll show you really quickly what it was like to try to drive around Nashville and Music City yesterday through one of these big waves of rain that really lasted most of the day. When the front first came through, it just absolutely poured rain on Nashville, and the storm drains are having a hard time keeping up there along the interstates to try to move that out of the way.
This part, I'm gonna push this
Several
out
lanes,
and
as a matter of fact, of Interstate 24 and 440 had to be
a
closed.
little that background. I gotta just look at the background.
Cars couldn't get by. And meanwhile, I know it's kind of hard to see, maybe even a blurry picture there on your screen from us, but it's blurry to drive through this. I'll tell you what. And we're seeing the sleet here along 412. We're about to turn on Interstate 155 West. And
What's going on? Let's see.
Hello, my fellow modelers. I hoard model kits. Yes, I do. And I thought I'd give you guys an update on the crash. Kits came down. Got them back up. All good here. Everything's fine. I'll give you a little closer look, kind of like what happened and how I got them back up there. And all that other stuff. Let me show you. I really appreciate all the concerns and everything, and everybody kind of put in their 2 bits on this, and I appreciate it. You guys having that concern and worrying about it. There was really nothing damaged. No kits were damaged. I actually found a few kits that were kind of just parts kits, and I kind of divvied up the stuff and got rid of a couple of boxes of kits, and I was able to add a couple other from another part of the room here. So basically all this came down, and what it was is I was walking over here and I lost my balance, and I basically just touched against this. So I have, you can see under here, it's very well bolted to the wall. It's got good anchors in there. It wasn't the failure of that shelf. I knocked this and I pushed it hard enough because I fell into it, and I look up and I started to see the top tip, and I went, no! And they came down. Now, a way to secure these, they're up there pretty good. See that? I'm not too concerned about this. I've been stacking my kits like this for a long time. And I have a way of, I put nails in the walls up here to kind of keep them steady at certain spots that they kind of lean against. So, as long as they don't get pushed against, I don't have really too much of a hard time. I'm probably gonna put there. You see that nail up there? Kind of holds this top one down like you can.
Put another shell.
See that right there? So that kind of holds up that row. It does pretty good. They're all pretty solid. So we're all good. We got them back up there. There's no calamities, nothing broke, and nothing's for sale. Nothing's for sale. Sorry, but I want to tell you guys I appreciate you all being concerned and giving me advice and worried about what happened. Nobody was hurt. No, Felix wasn't underneath him. Thank goodness he didn't get buried. But it was well, everybody heard me in the house and they all laughed at me. It's kind of funny actually around here. But I got them up over the next couple days, kind of worked on a few things going through. But I do want to tell you something. Is it gave me an opportunity up in there, and I know where they're at now. I'll probably show them in another video. I found some interesting things I forgot that I had, and some projects that I forgot about. So I've got some cool projects that are hidden up in there. I'm probably gonna pull down and show you guys one of these days in a couple different videos. Like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, things I totally forgot about. So that was fun, but no, I never found this project. Never found it. Still haven't. I got a feeling it's somewhere over there. I don't know. Who knows? It could be over here. There you go, guys. That's how it is. Models are on the wall. We're all good. And I want to say thank you. Thank you all. So there's the update. I'll let you guys know. I haven't made a video in a couple days. I just thought I'd throw this up. I got to get working back onto the little Porsche. That's going to be prime. I got some really cool things coming up and announcements coming up over the next few days of some cool stuff that we're going to be reviewing and showing, and we'll be getting with you guys. But everything's cool.
Get this fucking asshole here. I don't know, it's like fucking going on 3 weeks already, Russia. We fucking heard about Russia for fucking 4 or 5 fucking years. And now, it's like, you gotta fucking hear it again. You gotta hear it again. See when the fuck they're gonna fight. We fucking invade already. What are you waiting for? At the same time, take care of fucking NATO. NATO. Fucking people. Just don't like people, putting us at risk over stupid shit, man. Putting the American people at risk. Putting the American people at risk. Disgusting. I mean, 4 fucking years. 4 fucking years. Russia. Are you fucking kidding me? Now we gotta hear Ukraine. It's like Marsha. Oh my Lord Jesus. This fucking news makes you go nuts. I tell you, man. I think ignorant is bliss, but it's hard to not follow news when you, maybe I don't know, because you go to YouTube and it's like it pops up all over the place to me. And it's like I am so sick of it. Because then you're gonna die and you'll be dead. Like a fucking doornail. And it won't matter. So, I should be letting myself enjoy good things. Things that are gonna give me pleasure. Not stupid things about Russia. Because these people don't know what they want. Let me bring that eye a little higher. That eyelid. Yeah, because it's like, so much. It's like you get sick of it. You know? It's like, and then, we're not supposed to be getting involved, but then we're getting involved by putting all these sanctions. I mean, that's getting involved. No, we're not going to get involved. Alright, so then why the hell are we putting all these... That's getting involved. That's putting the American people at risk. Over things that people probably already are fucking gone. Out of Russia. I mean, out of Ukraine. Went to Russia. In the beginning they were saying, Ukraine was saying, it's not as bad as you people are claiming it is, and stop doing that. And then, this is the president of Ukraine. He said, no, it's not as bad as, you know, you're making problems for us, and you're going to scale on investors that invest in Ukraine. And I mean, the president would know, right? The president of Ukraine would know if it's bad or not bad. But the United States is saying, no, you have a problem. So now you got all these investors bleeding out of fucking Ukraine, so now they're gonna lose money. So, I don't know. And then, they say they're not gonna get involved, but then they're putting all these sanctions up, all these... That's getting involved. That's getting involved. I think it's going to get worse. Hope not, but we'll see. Let me get this corner. I want to get this area right. Over here. I'm going to bring this up right here. I'm going to bring this right here. Let me step back in there. And I'll bring the hair back in. Because that goes a little bit... Let me see. I can do the cool. Just bought a creamer, $3.79 for the small cream. I can't believe it. $3.79. I think this country is fucking... I don't know what's the problem with Russia, but they seem to have a problem with Russia. Let me lighten this to separate this and I'll change it. Let me separate this so I can see what I'm doing because I can't, the dark is not allowing me to see what's going on here. If I got the shape right, let me see, the head is going to come like that. Let me get the other brush. Let me go blue. This way. And then you know, we shouldn't get involved with these problems with Ukraine and Russia. Just leave them alone, you know. You're gonna get people killed. These stupid wars for what? Okay, and then let me soften this. I gotta do those eyelets and little by little. There's a curve right there. Let me get that. That's like a light value. Let me just mix a little bit of that umber in there. This curves right here. There's a little bit of highlight there. And there's a bit light there. And there's some over here. And then there. I guess people need to be kept busy while we're here. Some people paint and some people make walls. I don't know. I don't understand that. Okay, and then this over here, I'm gonna bring this in closer. Because this edge right here, it comes so close now. Okay, then it goes. Okay, let me see. Then I gotta fix all that. I'm gonna get some of this in there. There's highlights under there. It's got some darks, which I'm going to put those darks because I'm guessing that's the hair in the back. Yeah, so I'm going to put that in there. Let me see. Let me see. I guess you don't see it, but there's something back there. And I'll put that in there for now. Right there. Just for now, right? And then, all this I gotta adjust. I gotta adjust all that. Let me see. This all has to be adjusted. Let me get the jacket. Okay, so if this is, because this is all lit up, more lit up. This is all lit up. Some more shadows here. This is going to be darker there. And this is coming more the opposite way. Let me see something. Because over here, this flows this way. Let me see. This flows that way, right? And then there's another one that goes this way. Let me say something. Just for now. Then you got there, right? And you got a bit of light there. And then this is all lit up. Lit up. Just put a little bit of light right there. So this is going to be lit up right there for a second. That background I still don't know. And I got to make the hands thinner. I relined them up so I can make them smaller because they were a little too fat. So let me see if I can adjust the hands a little bit. Get rid of those lines and let me make some darker flesh tones. Yeah, darker flesh. Let me see, I got this, right? Got that, yeah, that's fine. And then over here, this is all gonna be, I wanna get all this, get that out the way, right? And then this is, get rid of, and then this is coming this way, right? This is more like a blue. Let me add that blue for now. And then we got some blue-green into those flesh tones. And I can see them right over here. You can see them. They come over here. And then there. Alright. And then let me put that on. Let me put this. Where are you? Where are you? I'm gonna get that coffee. Come on. Let me get my coffee. It's right there. Fuck. Cream is so expensive. Oh my God, people are killing me. Fucking artists don't have money. French vanilla. Maybe it's because it's French vanilla. Let me put the coffee over here. Okay. So, this is going to be a little lighter. That's going to be a little cooler right here. Cool is going to separate it. Separate from over here. I don't want the hands to be too fat. I don't want the hands. Oh, what happened to my music? No, this is not what I was listening to. This is not what I was listening to. classical meets modern. Two bamboo earrings, at least 2 pairs. I'm gonna put bamboo earrings on you. I'm gonna be a little red right here under. This one will be red, and then this one I'll make this one a little more red. Here and there, just a little bit of red there. I hope you don't copyright me, YouTube. I mean, this fucking thing was made in the 16th century. Okay, I'm gonna put the feather, I'll do that later, but I gotta get rid of those lines now. I gotta do all the dark. I wanna put it real close. Okay, there's a bit of darkness over here. I gotta sharpen the eyelids, make them heavier. Underneath the eyes, the lips, everything has to. Do the background. I think I was going to do the background with some crazy abstract. We'll put it. I was going to do some crazy cubism buildings. I can do some, I don't know. This is to get the hand. Because if I take the hand that way, this one is going to go this way. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's just leave that like that for now. I'll come back to that. But let me continue that. Got that red there. That's the cello. So beautiful. Oh man. So beautiful. for now. And put a hard edge and this is going to be a little bit more that way. Okay, that way goes this way. Yeah, the hand looks a little thinner than before. Over here, I need to cut this animal. So, I'll cut this in here. And then, let me adjust these eyes. Those eyes! Okay, let me get these eyes a little better. It's got this part that meets up here. When it comes all together, it's gonna look okay. See, this is like that umber with the blue. Make some more blue into it. And okay, let me see if that works. Does that work? Yeah, that's better. It comes in, and then it flares out. Take it out that way. Then I'll tickle it. As it falls down, I'm going to tickle it on the way down. But before I do it, that's a little bit. I'll tickle this a little bit. It comes over down Then I gotta get rid of it. Kinda. Let me see. Over here. I'm gonna call this the keystone. This is the keystone right here. And it goes up more this way here. This right there. And then it starts cooling up. Right? And then over here. Okay. I went to the store and there's fucking people can't even buy anything in the store. It was like these people don't tell these people, listen, you're blocking the customers. Stupid people, my God. Oh my God, we're such dumb people on this planet. then this one, this was gonna be a little, I was gonna square that off and then come back. What color is that? That's, okay, let me, it squares off right here. It squares off there. And then it comes this way. It comes down. Like that. And then there's a bit of warmth right here. It goes from cool to warm, and then over here it starts turning yellow. And I'm gonna grab it and just for now. Then over here it goes cool again. It goes cool again. I gotta bring this out. Because it comes out here. Right there. Then it locks in. This is gonna be bright, but I'll bring it down. That's gonna go bright. And then I'll start. It goes warmer here, but then it goes back to that. Okay. And I'll bring it in this way. Right? And then I'll get it this way. That brow is basically breaking up here and there. And then it goes this way. And then okay, and then I'll grab a little bit of the yellow. I'm gonna make a little batch of that yellow, light yellow. Get this out the way. Put it over here. And I'll mix that gray into that yellow, which is going to give me a slight greenish. I'll have that. And then I'll need to make, okay. And I have a bit over here. I'll grab some of this. A little bit of that. Okay, and then I can grab the wood, because that pours into it. The head's gonna go this way. I gotta separate it, and that's gotta separate it, because this over here, and here. Let me bring this in, and this little spot right there. Then I drag that in that way. It does go higher here. Okay. Alright. Then over here gets darker towards the. Then over here. Okay. I'm all over the place with this. Grab it this way. has to be balanced, and I have to work it at the same time, because if I don't, then it comes over here. I gotta get it to the bottom here. So, okay, we're still ready.